I know it's a surprise, but it shouldn't be for too many of you because I am not a quitter. I will not give up until I have exhausted every possible measure I can. And I have been working on this for the last few hours. It's driving me crazy. So I finally have it. So this is the last one I just did. How fun is that? So that was with my Chanel book. Anyway, okay, so real quick, I'm going to show you. I've got it figured out how to do the mono printing the proper way. So there's so many different videos out there on how to do it, but you've really got to just get in there and do it yourself and figure out what works best for you. You guys are sweet. I wasn't even expecting anybody to come on. Look, we ran and got my dog and was so happy. So he is like so happy. He can see, these windows go all the way to the floor, so he can look out because he's only about this big and he can look out and see everything that's going on. He's very happy. So I have learned, I've tried all different types of print, and it didn't matter, to be honest with you, which one I used. They all kind of work. So I'm going to try this one next, and I'm going to show you what's different this time. Seriously, I don't have any lipstick on or anything. Hi, Patricia. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are excited about doing this because, trust me, I just sat here and kept making some until I felt like, okay, I think I might have it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is heavy body paint. Somebody said that, and I was like, well, somebody else said use really thin paint. So you want heavy body paint. And for when you're trying to do the mono printing, which is trying to get a design from one item to another, you need a dark paint down. At least that's what I have found works best. And when you're using the thick body, you only need a teeny bit. Let me pull you down so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. You just need a teeny bit. So I just did 2 little sprigs. I've got Master's Touch. Any of the paints that are in these containers like this would be considered full body paint. So remember, I went and got all these great bottles, but I'm going to use them for something else, not so much my jelly printing. And look at how much better that full body paint goes on also. So I do think that is a critical piece of this. I'm going to give it one last kick. And then remember, I'm just wiping off my brayer off to the side. So here this is, and where did this come from? This came from a book I have right here. I got on Amazon called Whimsical Women 2, and it's just full of great colorful pictures that I love to use for journaling. Like, look at this. Beautiful stuff. So, okay, so we've got our thick body paint down, and now I'm going to go ahead and lay my print down. This is the print that I want to be what they call mono print. I know, I'm sure everybody's shocked that I'm back on a Saturday, but you know what? Stuff like this makes me crazy, and I feel like I didn't want to screw any of you up. Like, you know, to just go out and buy stuff before you really know what you need. And, you know, it worked the other way. The way I had done it, it had worked before. But for some reason today, of course, when I was live, watch, this won't work either. But you can see I've already shown you that it really does work. So I have found that pressing down all over is really important, especially where that design is. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Please let it work. Please, please, please. It did not work as well as the other one. All right, hold on. We're going to go ahead and try this, so don't panic yet. because it could be, I used another one in here and it did work, but I can see some of the design, but not all of it. So here's the next thing you're gonna do is let this dry. You wanna let that dry. It just takes a few minutes. I found when I used my heat dryer to do it, the next paper that I stuck on top actually stuck to my jelly pad. So do not do that. So here's what I did. I let this dry a little bit. It just takes a couple seconds. And then I added, let's add some diamonds. So I'm gonna add, still a little wet, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some diamonds over here. And now you can use any kind of paint you want. So now is where I can use my regular paint. And these heavy body paints are just, they're acrylic paints. That's all they are. They're just heavy body acrylic paints. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop some of this in here. Can you see that? And then let's put a little bit over here on this side. Oh my gosh, you guys, my dog is so happy. And bonus, when we were at the casino, I ended up hitting a machine that was actually winning. So we got to meet them at the casino and won a little bit of money while I was there, which is crazy. Okay, so now we've got that. And then here's something else I learned. If you want to do words, you can, but don't put them front, obviously. Put them backwards so that when you do your print, it'll come up the right way. I hope that made sense. So let me just get a little bit of this wording stuff down here. And I'm just using the purple. This is all, I'm using just regular acrylic paint here. And I just want to get some of these words on here for a true, like a mixed media look. Okay, now you can see, I think I blew it. I think I blew it, but it's okay. Let's just see, before we panic, let's just see what might have happened. So, oh, and then here's the key. Let this dry. It's the next layer. So if you've ever done stencil inlays, you have to, you like put it down over wet paint, and then you have to spray it with water, then you have to let it dry, then you have to spray it again. And it's the same process almost with this. This will not pull up on a piece of paper. This right here will not pull up. What you need to do is give yourself one more layer. Looking for my cream. Let's see, I'll just use a white. You want one more layer of paint. Okay, we're dry. This is the key. And this is probably, even though I think I did it, I think I kind of blew it. And I might have blown it with this picture, but I'll try another one if I did, so don't worry. We're gonna do this if it kills us, and it might. All right, so you've got one more layer of paint. And what that's doing is because nothing made sense to any of us today, because we're like, but now it's all dry. How is it even gonna come up? Well, this is activating. Your top layer of paint is now activating everything underneath. So now we can, let me see if I have any more colored paper. Probably not. All right, I'm just using this right here. Now, that white isn't really going to show up on my sheet because I've got a white sheet, but that's okay. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for all the other patterns that we've just put on. Okay, so you're still going to brayer over it because you want to make sure your design is really down. So funny because some of the I watched so many videos today. Some were like, don't add pressure. Some were like, add lots of pressure. It's like you never know what's going to work and what's not. I did a number of them today. Hi, everybody. Oh, you guys are so sweet for being here. I swear to you, I wasn't expecting anybody to even be on. I was just thinking, I'm just going to sneak on and do this really quick with no lipstick on. Okay, let's see what happened. Somebody said you should leave it on 2 to 5 minutes. I tried that. I didn't really think that made much of a difference either. Okay, you can see perfectly everything I did, but what we can't see is the design inside. So let's go back. All right, so now we know it is which magazines or whatever that you use. And that is the weirdest thing because it worked a minute ago, but of course I'm live now. So I know I have one book that I know works no matter what. So let me get that. I tell you what, it is such a messy little thing. Deb, you and me both, sister. I know, I can't sneak in. But you guys know I'm determined to get this. And we're so close because like I said, I got it and I loved it. So now I'm going to have to go back to that Chanel book so far. That's the one thing that's really worked. Besides the Country Door magazine, that one worked also. The pictures in the Country Door, they worked for me. Okay, so let's go back to this book. This is, and I hate to use these, but I'm going to have to. This is on Amazon. It's just called Chanel Fashion Review. What's different about this? I don't know. The pages are shiny. I mean, I couldn't begin to tell you what's different about this and why it works and some of the other stuff doesn't, but it just does. Let's see, I'm looking for one that, let's just use these two. Yeah, it breaks my heart. These are paper dolls. I love paper dolls. Okay, so here's our design. We're gonna try this one more time. So hang with me because I promise you it will work. So let's go back. You can use any color, like a deep purple, deep blue, deep brown, deep black. I just like the brown. Okay. Let's try it one more time. If this doesn't work this time, I'm giving up because for the last hour, I've been practicing and it worked every time. The hour before that, it wasn't working. Okay. So, hi Carmel. Okay, so here's our design, and we're just gonna lay it right on down. And I'm gonna give it some pressure. And I'm gonna brayer over top of it. I know you're all rooting for me. This is like on America's Got Talent when somebody gets up there and they're a wreck and they go, come on, you'll be fine. We're all rooting for you. Okay, so now I'm gonna leave that on for just, I'm gonna press down one more time. And you can tell instantly if the design is coming up or not. Somebody said you have to leave it on for 2 to 5 minutes, and I'm like, no, you don't, because I've been doing it, and I didn't have to leave it on for 2 to 5 minutes. I think I could do this, Stephanie. Come on, surely I could do this. All right. Come on, sweet Lord, please work. Okay, there we go. It did take an extra minute, though. Okay, so we're gonna brayer this down one more time. It looks good. The only thing I think I might have done possibly wrong on this one, and this is why I love doing this, you guys, I don't usually practice before I go live, so you're getting raw, like here's what's probably gonna happen to you. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Oh, praise Jesus, praise the Lord. All right, so now you've got we've got our two ladies. Granted, it's monoprinting, it's like from a big Jello jiggler, to a piece of paper. So it's not gonna be like a, you know, exact design, because you can see even on this, but it's so cool for background paper. Okay, so let's go back, because I love the, I really do love the diamonds. So now we need to let this dry. Look at, my dog is right here. Hold on. Where is he? Lily. Oh, you can't see him because my desk is so dirty. This is all these papers I've been working on all day. Anyway, he's right here. He is so happy. Let's do some of these too. So right now, all we're doing is we're just waiting for this part to dry. But I'm gonna tell you, these are pricey, but they're the ones that work. However, Walmart also has paints that come in these kind of containers, and they're not that expensive. So if you want to do it, here's what I would say. If you want to do this right here, then all you need is a couple of dark colors. You don't need to buy the whole thing. If you want, you know, to do this monoprinting. If you just want to do regular background papers, like I did in my journal book, then, I mean, look, you don't need all this stuff. I'm gonna show you. Oh, for crying out loud. You guys, I have so much stuff up here, it's not even funny. But this was what I was showing earlier. So this was a monoprint. I just took one of the pages out of that Whimsical Women book I just showed you. I just took one of the pages that didn't have a girl on it, like one of these, and put her on that. So then I didn't have to do anything else. Just to show you, this really did work. This is what I did earlier with flowers. This is dry, or silk flowers. That's all that was. I just put them on, and that made that great design. This was a monoprint. It's kind of cool, actually. That was with that book I just had. This is what we did. This was a stencil print. Now that will work every single time with no problems, and I loved how this one turned out. So this is the one I might put on a notebook and turn it into something really cute. The paint goes on sale at Hobby Lobby. The Master's Touch does. Okay, so that's dry. Let's get, I want to use a little bit of a different stencil this time. You guys, this really is so fun to do. Yes, I am dedicated. I told Bill, I cannot stop until I do this, and I'm going to do it. I just have to figure it out, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, so let's do, I kind of like the yellow, the way the yellow plays out. So I'm just doing some, this is just regular yellow. You could do metallics, you could do anything in here, but I'm just gonna do this yellow because you're not gonna see that much of it anyway. Okay. But you can see it on my plate. And then I want the little diamonds. And let's do these in a, let's do these in the bright purple. And you can see for the stenciling, I'm going right back to this because it's fine for this part. Where am I? Okay. Can you already see? I think this is going to be so fun. All right, let me do a little bit more right here in the purple. Okay, and then let's try something different this time. Let's do a teal over top. So let's let that, we gotta let that dry just for a second. And the reason you have to let it dry is so obviously this top layer, because you want the top layer to, what's the word, like reactivate it. So you want to make sure everything's dry, otherwise you're just going to spread all this paint around. So give me a second. And like I said, if you want any kind of words, like these words right here, we can do those. you've got to do them backwards. Don't do them the front way like I did the first time, because that's not the right way to do it. And I found because then they still come out, then they come out backwards. If you do it this way, they'll come out right. Okay, let's let this sit for a minute. You guys are so sweet for being here. I can't even believe it. Literally, I was sure nobody would show up because, well, I figured nobody would show up ever again on my page, but a couple people were very sweet today and said, Debbie, out of your 1,000 projects, you have a couple duds. Get over yourself. It's fine. It happens. Okay, all that is dry. This, I'm just waiting for the words we just put on to dry, but they're gonna be so fun. And then we'll do the teal. So it just takes a second though. You're anxious to find your Gelli Plate and try this. I'm telling you, there is very few things that I would be this committed to if I didn't love it. So that's why, Marilyn, you knew I would. Oh, that's funny. Hi, Diana. Okay. So see, it's not, you don't have like hours and hours of waiting. It's just a little bit. But now I'm gonna go ahead and use the thick body. I don't have to, I could use the regular, but I love the way the thick body moves on the palette. And then look, you can tell everything's dry. And all this is doing is reactivating that paint underneath. So you don't need a heavy layer. Come on, come on, come on. Let me get another piece. I'm finding that it might be that other paper, that sketch paper I was using might not work. So that's why I'm gonna use a different piece. I know you're gonna be like, what? Why are you wasting all that paper? But I get these books, Cut and Collage, and they are full of fun stuff. But right now, this is way more important to me than any of that stuff. Okay, and again, gotta make sure that you've got your, that you're getting that print down everywhere. You didn't think I had oh, Sharon, you're so sweet. Yeah, drum roll, please. And if this bombs, we're all just gonna say goodbye and pretend like this did not happen on Flag Day. Okay, come on, be there. All right, let me just check it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let you look while we're doing it. How fun is that? Ta-da! Now, I'm sure some of you are saying, well, that's not a very good print of those ladies. No, it's not, but with practice, I'll get better. But here's the thing, it worked. It does work. So now I just wanted you to know what I think is the key, now that we're doing it ourselves, is, and look how fun that is. Mins, I'm glad, well, thank God it worked a little bit. But I think that's really fun. Like, that would make such a cute background page. Full body paint. Dark, full body paint for your first coat. Light, just one coat. You saw me, I did 2 drops. That's it. Used my brayer, got it all around. I didn't wait for anything to dry or do anything. I immediately put my print down on it. Make sure it's all, you know, I've got pressed down everywhere. I use my brayer to make sure it's pressed down. Do all that. And then I just start to pull up a little bit of a corner of that just to make sure that the design is actually going down. So then I pulled up that sheet. The next one is now the design is down. You let that dry. Let it dry just for a few minutes, and then you can start adding your other stencils and your other fun stuff. So just let it sit and dry for a second. Then you add all the other stuff, let that dry. Then you add your lighter top color heavy body paint. One light coat. Do the same thing with your brayer. You're spreading the paint around. Make sure again that everything's dry, otherwise you're just going to muddy all that paint. Then I press it all down, use my brayer again, and then you pull up just like I did, and you can tell instantly when you pull back if you're getting everything, and we did. So, and your pad should be clean. Well, pretty clean after that. So, thank you, Terry. I can go have dinner. I can have a glass of wine. I can play cards with Bill now. I could not do any of that till I got this handled today. So trust me, it's fun. I'll keep practicing. You guys keep practicing. Yes, I have been redeemed. Praise God, I have been redeemed. So have fun with it though. Don't get frustrated. Just stay with it. Eventually, you'll get it. And this is what I wanted to show you. This was another stencil. And with these, I just put all different colors, and I used even the regular acrylics, all different colors all over my Gelli Plate, squirts, all different colors, brayered it, and then I laid this stencil down on my plate, put a piece of paper over top of it, and that's what I got. I did the same thing back here with another stencil. So there's so many fun things you can do with it, but look at, I mean, that one came out really good. So, all right, everybody. You guys have a great rest of your night, and everybody sleep well now knowing that we actually did it. I'm so happy. So I will see you guys next week. I'll see my private group on Monday, and next week, I keep forgetting to tell you guys, next week I'm in an event that is going to run all day next Saturday, and I'm actually kicking it off. I'm the first one kicking it off. I think it's either at 9 or 10 in the morning, and we're going to auction off our project at the end of, well, everybody's going to auction off their project at the end of their deal. And so I will do something really cool for this, and all the proceeds are going to Alzheimer's, which is obviously super, super close to my heart right now because my husband was diagnosed this year. So that will be next Saturday all day, and I will give you all the information this week. So thank you again. Thank you guys for hanging with me and trusting me. Well, I don't know if you trust me, but thank you for always giving me a second chance. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.